Welcome to TheBotDog Reviews, movie reviews and more, the channel for all movie lovers. If you like our content, leave your like, subscribe and activate the bell so you don't miss new videos. Hey guys, welcome back to our movie review channel. Today, we're going to talk about the critically acclaimed film, The Help, released in 2011. The movie is based on the novel of the same name by Kathryn Stockett and tells the story of African-American maids working in Jackson, Mississippi in the early 1960s. The movie is a poignant portrayal of racial injustice, but also about as real friendship has no color. Spoiler alert! Before we continue, we would like to make a spoiler alert. If you haven't watched the movie yet and don't want to have your viewing experience spoiled, we suggest that you watch the movie before continuing with this video. Now, if you have already watched the movie or don't mind spoilers, let's begin. Let me tell you a thrilling story set in Jackson, Mississippi during the Civil Rights era. There's a young woman named Eugenia Skeeter Phelan, who's only 23 years old and has just graduated from the University of Mississippi. She's an aspiring writer, and one day, she notices something very disturbing. Skeeter's childhood friends have all grown up and started families, but they don't treat their African-American maids with the respect they deserve. This troubles Skeeter deeply, and she decides to do something about it. Elizabeth has a maid named Abilene Clark, who receives a call from a woman named Celia Foote. Celia wants to help organize a benefit with the Junior League, but Elizabeth and her friend Hilly Holbrook, who leads the local chapter, think Celia is not good enough for their social circle. Later, we find out that Celia is married to Hilly's ex-boyfriend, which might explain Hilly's attitude. Celia then asks Abilene if she knows of any maids looking for work. However, Hilly insults Abilene by refusing to use Elizabeth's toilet because Abilene also uses it, claiming that black people carry different diseases than white people. Hilly even talks about a bill she wants to pass that would require separate toilets for black people who work in white-owned homes. Abilene hears everything and is understandably upset. Skeeter has been given a job to write a column in the local newspaper about housekeeping tips by Miss Myrna. But since she's never really done much housework, she seeks help from Abilene. Not only does Abilene take care of all the cooking and cleaning at Elizabeth's house, but she's also like a mother to Elizabeth's little daughter, May Mobley. Sadly, Elizabeth doesn't seem to care much about her own child. However, Abilene is there for May Mobley every day, telling her how special she is by saying, "You is kind. You is smart. You is important." When Skeeter arrives home, her mother Charlotte is trying on a dress and urges Skeeter to try it on too. Charlotte can't help but bring up the fact that Skeeter is still single and not married yet. Skeeter mentions her new job, but Charlotte is more worried about her daughter's love life. She even asks Skeeter if she's attracted to women and suggests an herbal remedy that can supposedly cure unnatural urges. Skeeter is appalled by her mother's suggestion. During dinner, Skeeter makes a comment about liking girls and her mother becomes upset and leaves the table because of her health condition. Skeeter, feeling upset and alone, runs to her favorite spot outside under a tree. There, she remembers how Constantine, the maid who raised her, comforted her when she was rejected from a dance. Skeeter deeply misses Constantine, who left while she was away at college, but nobody will tell her what really happened. Seeing how Elizabeth and Hilly treat their own maids with disrespect, Skeeter decides to write a book about the lives of Jackson's maids. She shares the idea with a New York editor, Elaine Stein, who seems unsure if any maids will be willing to participate. Skeeter asks Abilene if she'll be willing to be interviewed for the book, but Abilene declines. Hilly fires Minnie, her maid, for disobeying her orders not to use the family's bathroom during a thunderstorm. Minnie feels humiliated and wants to get back at Hilly for being so mean to her. So, she bakes a chocolate pie with her own poop in it and tricks Hilly into eating it. When Hilly finds out, Hilly's mother laughs, but Hilly gets mad and has her mother sent to a nursing home. Later that night, Minnie's husband physically assaults her while Abilene listens to the sounds of it over the phone. The next day at church, Abilene listens to a sermon about bravery and changing one's mind. She decides to help Skeeter with her book about maids in Jackson, Mississippi. Abilene shares a heart-wrenching story about her son's death, which was caused by a racist foreman who left him to die without any medical assistance. Aibileen reveals the pain she feels every year on the anniversary of her son's death and how it's difficult for her to breathe on that day. Despite the danger, Aibileen becomes even more committed to helping Skeeter with her book. In the meantime, Minnie starts working for Celia Foote, a lonely woman who struggles to fit in with the high society ladies. Celia pays Minnie secretly because she can't cook or clean and doesn't want her husband to know. Although Minnie is cautious around white people, she begins to trust Celia as she is kind and treats her with respect, despite being insecure. Minnie shows Celia how to cook fried chicken, which Celia loves. When Celia suffers her fourth miscarriage, Minnie is there to comfort her. Celia confesses that she only married her husband because she was pregnant, but lost the baby soon after and had 3 more failed pregnancies. She fears she will never have a child. Yulmay, Hilly's new maid, has twin sons who are graduating high school and want to go to college. Unfortunately, they don't have enough money for one son's tuition. Yulmay politely asks Hilly for a loan and offers to work for free until she pays it off. But Hilly refuses, citing religion and saying that God doesn't help those who can help themselves. While cleaning Hilly's living room, Yulmay finds a ring and pawns it to pay for her son's tuition. When Hilly discovers this, she has Yulmay arrested in front of the other maids at the bus stop. This traumatic event leaves the other maids shaken. Aibileen and Minnie are working on a book project, but they need more people to tell their stories. Skeeter, who is helping with the project, wants to include her own story about her relationship with Constantine. After Yulmay gets arrested, many other maids offer to help with the book. However, Skeeter is worried that people will recognize the maids and cause more trouble for the black community, especially after Medgar Evar's recent murder. To protect themselves, Minnie suggests adding her terrible awful story about Hilly eating her poop, which will embarrass Hilly and make her deny that the book is about Jackson. Hilly keeps asking Skeeter, who writes the Junior League newsletter, to write about her sanitation initiative, but Skeeter keeps ignoring her. Hilly then decides to organize a charity coat drive, with the coats being dropped off at her house. Skeeter finally includes both items in the newsletter, but changes the word coats to something else. The day after, Elizabeth receives a phone call and quickly brings May Mobley and Aibileen to Hilly's house. Hilly is shouting and upset because she wanted the word coats to be written in the newsletter, but instead, it says commodes. As a result, Hilly's yard is now full of 40 toilets. While Hilly is still screaming, May Mobley sits on one of the toilets innocently. Elizabeth responds by slapping her until she cries. May Mobley runs to Aibileen for comfort, and Aibileen whispers to her, "You are kind. You are smart. You are important." Skeeter finally learns the truth about why Constantine left from her mother, Charlotte. Charlotte fired Constantine because her daughter Rachel, played by La Chance, refused to use the back door during an important DAR luncheon, which embarrassed Charlotte. Charlotte later regretted her decision and tried to bring Constantine back by sending Skeeter's brother to her new home in Chicago. Unfortunately, when he arrived, he learned that Constantine had already passed away. Skeeter's book, The Help, is finally published, but her name is not on it. The book becomes very popular, and everyone in Jackson is reading it. As Minnie predicted, Hilly is shocked to find the story about the chocolate pie in the book. She tries to convince her friends that the book isn't about Jackson. Skeeter divides the money she received equally among all the maids and promises that there will be more. She is offered a job in a publishing house in New York, but she is not sure she wants to take it. However, Aibileen and Minnie insist that she should. Skeeter's boyfriend, Stuart Whitworth, played by Christopher Lowell, ends their relationship when he discovers that she wrote The Help. To make matters worse, Hilly finds out that Skeeter is the author and shows up at her house drunk and angry. She threatens to tell Skeeter's mother, but Charlotte defends her daughter and kicks Hilly out of their property. Charlotte encourages Skeeter to take the job offer in New York, and Skeeter agrees. Charlotte tells her that she's proud of her daughter, which makes Skeeter very happy. Celia wants to show Minnie how much she appreciates her hard work, so she prepares an amazing meal for her. Celia's husband knows that Minnie is working for them and offers her a job for as long as she wants it. This inspires Minnie to leave her abusive husband and take her children with her. In another scene, Hilly checks her mail and finds a $200 check from Celia meant as a donation to the Junior League benefit. However, Hilly becomes angry when she sees that the check is made out to Two Slice Hilly and throws a fit, tearing up the check. Hilly accuses Aibileen of stealing silverware and forces Elizabeth to fire her. When Aibileen confronts Hilly, Hilly threatens to falsely accuse her of theft. Aibileen stands up to Hilly, calling her a cruel person who lies and betrays others. May Mobley is upset, and Aibileen comforts her with kind words. As Aibileen leaves, May Mobley cries and begs her not to go. Elizabeth is moved to tears, and Aibileen promises to become a writer like her son wanted her to be. Hey everyone, have you seen The Help? Let us know your thoughts on the movie in the comments. Also, if you enjoy epic and emotional stories, don't forget to follow us here on the channel. Until next time. TheBotDog Reviews, your ultimate destination for movie reviews and more. Leave your like, subscribe and activate the bell so you don't miss new videos.